wasn't the same finger.
You guys are assholes. Let's start the show. Hello, Internet. I'm Joe.
I'm dying.
And I have big news.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, and honestly, we lie to ourselves every day, and I don't know why.
That we're good at what we do? That people listen to the show?
What happened to you, Eric? Why did somebody take all your funny and motivation out and just throw it all over the floor?
Wait, motivation. Funny I'll give. Funny, but motivation?
Yeah, motivated. I think you ran
way.
out. I'm saving it for 30 years or whatever.
I was motivated for the last 2 months, and now that's up, and I used up all of my motivation for the rest of my life.
He's out. He's got to recharge. Use Evocate. I heard that works.
Yeah, I got to recharge mana. Yeah, no, I don't know what it was. Now my voice is fucking going away.
Dude, it sounds like you're dying. It really does.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just finally, like, a ton of people kept getting sick during Halloween Horror Nights, and I managed to avoid it. And then fucking Monday morning rolls around, and I'm, like, barely fucking talk, and I cough all day. And I thought I was getting better. Like, I felt a lot better yesterday. And then
stop making out with the zombies. That's the problem.
What did you? I was fine. I was fine up until this show started, and now my voice is slowly.
And now it's your.
It's your feminist went So,
you sing it in the car. That's how you know it so well. I know.
I've actually, Miss Elliott. I like the way you work it. That's where that was from. That string of text. So, Ike, you said that you had some big news. Eric had big news. He's sick. I don't have anything going on. Ike, what's your big news?
You didn't sell your computer boxes yet that you put in the basement?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about those. Holy shit, thanks for reminding me. I need to write this down.
You're like, I need to stop the show right now.
I'm writing this down. Okay, Ike, tell us about your thing.
All right, so I got some big news. So the other day I was on my way home, and well, more specifically, yesterday I was on my way home, and I got myself a Steam Link box and one of the new Steam controllers.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so that's my big news. I was
nice.
I guess it's not fun.
Have you used them at all?
I have. I was using the Steam Link last night, just a little bit, testing it out. Definitely works better plugged into the wall than when it's wireless. And the Steam Link controllers takes a little getting used to. I played it with some Rocket League. The only downside is there's some buttons on the bottom that you can remap, but I don't know how to remap them yet. So this side, when you squeeze it, causes ball cam to turn on and off.
Oh,
so you set up for a shot, and you get all tense. You click the button, ball cam switches, and then you completely miss what you're gonna do.
Dude, the Steam Link controller though, what about for driving the car? Because I was thinking, that'd be a cool way to control a vehicle if I didn't get a full mouse, a full gaming setup.
It's the same because it's the same as the other an Xbox because it has the little.
Yeah, it's got an analog stick, or it's got a joystick on it.
So the little knobby thing. So I'm showing my Xbox controller.
Yep.
Yeah, but the knobby thing is where your analog stick is. It's got a knobby thing on it.
No, but on the Xbox controller, the knobby thing is up.
Yeah,
Their knobby
it's up
thing
there,
is down.
but it's the same function on these in terms
so it's
of driving.
A little bit lower, but that's fine.
It's
like a PlayStation controller.
Yeah, it's the same as.
It's also, I mean, the has on the left side, the right side rather. This functions as a mouse pad, like a touchable. What am I thinking?
It's like a touchpad. But so is it? Obviously I know what it is. It's if you guys don't know what the Steam controller is, you should Google it because it's kind of hard to describe. It's like a controller. You guys know what it is. I'm not.
It is kind of weird that the face of the controller is.
Oh, there's a big curve to it. Yeah.
It's rather than curved out like some other ones. This one's curved in.
But so when you're using the kind of touch pads where your thumbs are going to go, not the knob, but the touch pads itself, how's your control been for the games?
Well, that's the thing is I've basically used it for Rocket League, so you're not even using the touchpads at all. So you can just get by with. So I wanted to try playing Magica with it or some other non-car driving games to see how they work. I haven't had a chance yet. I tried to boot up Magica last night without having a wire to the back of the Steam Link, and it was lagging like a motherfucker. So
it was over your Wi-Fi. It's just not so effective.
And it's only 2 rooms away, so it's not the greatest. I mean, I was playing Rocket League for a little bit last night without having it connected directly, and it was working all right. The sound would cut out a little bit. There's a tiny bit of artifacting, not a huge problem, but I like it. I mean, I'm gonna stay with it.
I wonder how that compares to the NVIDIA Shield that Dag's been using. I'm really interested in those things too because I have this nice computer and I also have a nice living room, but they're totally separate right now. So it'd be nice to put it in there.
I've been trying to find ways. I mean, I bought a Wii U for Amanda for her birthday a while ago, so I figured this would be another way for us to share a gaming experience too. I can bring all these games I already own.
Problem. Let me talk to you about a problem that I have. So I've been playing a lot of HOTS lately, and I wanted to throw a big thank you out to Motive because he taught me how to play like a lot better. Not that I'm good, but I'm palatable. But the thing is, so Atish, Dag, and myself, we spent an hour, maybe an hour and a half, just learning how to play a MOBA, and he taught us a bunch of basics. Everything's great, but now we're really into it right now. The problem is, all of our significant others, we're trying to rope them into playing. We're like, all right, you guys, what game would you guys like to play? So Sarah's really into Don't Starve, and I'm trying to get the other girls into the Don't Starve thing. I'm just like, yeah, Don't Starve is really fun. I'm like, I hate that game. I don't like playing it. It gives me anxiety. But nothing, yeah, totally play Don't Starve. Have you cracked this code at all? Because I really could use some help.
I haven't yet. I've been. Amanda doesn't like playing first-person shooters, so that takes Portal out of the equation as well. She does like playing a lot of the Mario games, so that's why the Wii was such a nice way to go. So I've really been trying to play to what she likes and trying to do what you suggested, where it's like, I bought Yoshi's Woolly World, and we've been playing it more and more, and it doesn't quite do it for me, but she really likes playing it, so I just kind of bite the bullet and figure I'd rather spend time.
What I did once was I sort of did a introductory course that I planned out for a friend, where we started off with Flower on the PS4 because that's basically there's no buttons, it's just moving the controller and motion controls, and then from there we moved to Mario Kart and Super Mario World and stuff like that because those are pretty simple and sort of progressions. This is the basic idea of if you've never played it, your actions translate into feedback on the screen. Now we'll add a few buttons and then just kind of slowly develop it.
See, but that's weird. For at least for me, I don't know about Joe. Amanda has played video games for a good chunk of her life, so she's played we have an N64, we have a whole bunch of the old systems. It's just more of trying to find games that we share in common that we would like to play. So I kind of want to get her into trying Heroes of the Storm. She doesn't like card games, so Hearthstone's out. And I don't know if she'd like StarCraft, but she definitely didn't like WoW, and she doesn't like first-person shooters, which eliminates the possibility of any future Overwatch games.
Which eliminates 90% of your current gaming load. We'll see. And so Sarah is definitely, she plays games, but the thing is, she plays one game and plays the game, explores every little part of it. So I just need to get her latched onto something.
I call that friend whose parents only buy him one game every year. Because he'll buy the game and it's the one game he gets, and no matter what it is, he'll play it nonstop. He'll unlock everything because he's only got that one game. He can't just go, I'm bored with this. It's the
that
one
was me.
Yeah.
I got really good at Top Gun for NES because that was the game I had. I didn't have the only other game I had was Mario, and it was not flying planes. That was way cooler.
See, I have trouble getting away from games. I'm looking through what I have, Fear, which was given to me by one of our listeners, Fear, and it's two sequels, rather. No, I mean, I've started them, just never finished them. I have Assassin's Creed, started it, never finished it. Mass Effect, started it, never finished it. So it's these XCOM, Enemy Unknown, never even played it.
No, I was just thinking about XCOM Enemy Unknown today. That I'm actually Aliens fucking freak me out, and that was one of those games that gave me the heebie-jeebies. Just the way it introduces the aliens in that game. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's a dark screen, and then there's a car burning in the background of this alien, and the sound is just so perfect, and it's just it freaks me out. So I'm sitting there playing it at night, and I'm playing it while the house is asleep. That game, I'm actually scared of it. All right, I'm admitting it here in total solitude with my friends, and nobody else is listening. But that game scared me, and I'm just like, it makes me just uncomfortable. I'm not gonna play it anymore, and I just uninstall it from Steam.
Well, I mean, I had a friend in college who played Fear in the dark in his dorm room by himself, and he's like, it freaks me out. And, but he wasn't ashamed to admit it, and he even said that was kind of like one of the nice things to the game. Like, it's meant to be a scary game, and it legitimately scared the crap out of me.
But I don't think XCOM's supposed to scare people. It's supposed to be like, ooh, scary aliens. But I'm just like, it's freaking me out, man. Because then I start thinking about aliens. And I'm like, oh, man, if an alien race ever comes here, we're totally screwed. It's like, why are we putting out all these signals out into space? We're just basically a beacon for things to take our resources. Why haven't we thought this through, people? Why? And the headphones are on, so the sound's like really good. And, oh, man, it freaks me out.
Sarah walks up behind you, touches you, and you jump in.
Well, yeah, that happens to me when people walking up behind me while I'm gaming. It's like, set off a chain reaction. Woo! Wow, yeah. There's been a lot of game stuff happening. BlizzCon happened. Fallout 4 released. It's just been like nuts with how much has been going on.
Oh, yeah, I got some other big news too. I bought. What was it? Oh, yeah, the two games that Blizzard's putting out. I got Overwatch that I pre-ordered. I heard a lot of people are upset about that though, and I also got myself World of Warcraft.
Again? That doesn't surprise me.
But I mean, the problem that I have with that game is like, yeah, I'm getting to the point where I don't want to keep playing it, but I've had so much time invested in it, and I've enjoyed it in the past that I don't mind going and re-upping, investing some time playing the game to like N-Game.
Before you get into your whole Warcraft spiel, like when I thought you couldn't have said any bigger news, you jump out with this, which I literally can't imagine anything bigger happening in your life than what you've mentioned right here. I mean, now I understand why you weren't on the show with such a massive amount of news to talk about.
Well, I wanted to save it for all this week.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like you wanted to save up 2 weeks worth of talking so you could talk about you getting World of Warcraft. And
well, I mean, then you got to like watch, not Foo Fighters. You got to watch that band play at BlizzCon. Yeah, I don't like to talk about their name. I really don't like them, but I was like, yeah, whatever.
A buddy of mine went to BlizzCon, and he was like, hey, you want some swag? I was like, yeah, sure. And he handed me like the Diablo keychain. I was like, this is cool. And then like later in the night, he was like, anyone play StarCraft? And someone was like, yeah, I do. He's like, here, take the side blade. And I was like, no.
I want is that the Artanis side blade thing?
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, like, I like over the summer, they were like, oh, Blizzard had in their store, like, we have 20 of the 2008 BlizzCon bags, the one that I had, like, Felicia Day signed, and, like, we found a stock of them, apparently in a box. So it's like, sweet, it's lasted me this long, I would love to buy another one, so I said, I'll buy one. They took my money, I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And it said processing, and finally I called them, and they're like, oh, actually, we ran out. Like, the website didn't update fast enough, so we'll give you your money back. Cancel my order.
You were so excited about that bag too. You were talking about it for weeks.
Well, so I ordered the BlizzCon bag and the goodie bag because it comes in a canvas bag, and I'm waiting. I figured they weren't going to give it out before BlizzCon, but it was like Thursday. BlizzCon's Friday, and there's still nothing in the mail. When I check my account, it says that it's still being processed. So I'm like, I call them up. I'm like, hey, I just had a question because this happened to me before, and I want to make sure like you're not taking my money and forgetting to give me something, or that you didn't run out because I'm sure there was a run on it. And the guy's like, no, it's still being processed. We took the money. We just haven't gotten it out to the factory yet or whatever. But on Friday it showed up.
So you had it just in time.
They were just playing me.
Did anything you guys want to talk about or cover from BlizzCon? Any big news from that show?
I mean, they showed off the trailer for the movie, which looks pretty interesting. It looks kind of like Avatar, but not in a bad way. And
you say, but not in a bad way, or in a bad way?
Not in a bad way.
All right.
Then they talked about the video games. They're adding a new hero to Heroes of the Storm, Cho'Gall, and the way they're doing it looks awesome. You guys?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Cho'Gall. I haven't shut up about it in our Discord chat.
Yeah. Well, and they said they're going to release it sometime this month. So
For people that don't understand what this Cho'Gall thing is, it's a hero in Heroes of the Storm where two people control one hero. One person does movement and some basic attacks, and the other person is a spellcaster, basically on a turret, just like casting spells all over.
But you can't buy Cho'Gall in the store.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to know a guy.
You have to know a guy who went to BlizzCon, or play with someone who knew a person who knew a person who went to BlizzCon and played with them.
Or doesn't the little digital ticket get one?
Yeah, the digital tickets and people who physically went all get it for free. And then if you play 2 games with someone who has Cho'Gall, then you get it.
So 4 games with someone who
you
has
gotta win
you get a bag of money.
You have to win 4 games with someone. So Ike, buddy, how you doing? Think of all the sweet times we spent together, and all this.
$800 to fly to fucking Michigan.
I just, virtual tickets guy. I like you, Ike. You're my buddy. I feel so funny when I'm around you. Just.
So there's a big debate going on out there about Overwatch, with the fact that it's pay to play, so you buy the game like you would any other game, Fallout 4 or whatever. But the discussion's centered around whether or not any further heroes that come out will be free to play, like all heroes, or whether or not you'll have to buy the heroes. Because what ends up happening during the game, if you haven't had a chance to look at it or play it, is you have the option to switch the hero that you're playing in between deaths by hitting the H button. However, the discussion is, if I have all the heroes and you don't, we're on a team together, but I'm playing a very centralized hero that they need me, and you don't have the hero that we need because you didn't buy them or don't have access to them, that could potentially make the game imbalanced and throw off.
I imagine if they're going the I didn't pay the money to watch all the panels and shit, but from what I understand,
who does that?
It's a $60 game because they're not going to do. It's not going to be like Heroes of the Storm where every couple of weeks there's a new guy added to it. I think it's going to be like, it's kind of like a fighting game where it's all out, and occasionally they'll add somebody new. But I think they will probably do DLC characters, which fucking sucks. But just I think the idea,
the Activision part of Blizzard is kind of creeping in to
the. I think from what I've heard, they just couldn't find a way to monetize it as free to play to make it work. It would unlike Heroes of the Storm or Hearthstone, which is their most profitable game to date. There's not a real easy way to monetize this game versus the other games.
Well, I mean, unless you're doing seasons of new players and map packs and kind of hybrid it Call of Duty style.
Yeah.
Or Team Fortress.
Well, I mean, what are they going to start selling hats? They don't call it hats though. They call it like trinkets or something. I don't know.
The people I've talked to are like, we wouldn't have a problem like if they're like all heroes from this point forward are free to play. You paid your $60, you get all the heroes. The skins, those charge.
They're gonna have DLC skins and stuff.
I'm sure the geniuses at Blizzard will figure out a way to make sure Ike loosens his wallet just a little bit more and dumps another $50 or $60 into that game.
50 or 60? You fucking kidding me? 150 to 200.
At least you're right. I'm thinking 200.
I was talking to our friend Ryle, who said, it should be that people, because Motive has been a Blizzard fanboy for a long time, but hasn't got a beta invite to Overwatch. And so Ryle was saying, wouldn't it be nice if the more money you spent on games in general that belong to Blizzard, they somehow could keep that track of that so that you're more apt to get a beta key with the more money you spend?
Yeah, and I think that'd be a cool program, especially once it's like they allow schlups like us to start playing games. Maybe the people that are these long-time, 12-year contributors to Blizzard, World of Warcraft and stuff. But, I mean, it's easy for me because I'm on the other side of that right now. So I'm sure if I was on, if I was on
for us to say that because we could, for the most, because you and me can get into the beta whenever we fucking want.
Yeah, because we're lucky right now. We still have good connections, but I am told that you just got to know a guy. You got to know a guy, Motive. So This is the problem. Like, I got a beta key and for Overwatch, and I'm excited about it. And then all the people start asking me for beta keys. I'm like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm just a peasant like you. I'm just lucky. I'm just a lucky peasant. Let's see. Art in the chat room, in our live chat room, by the way. We do the show live every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern. Go to justcoolenough.com/live if you want to be a part of it. We have users in there talking. It's active. But Art says they are definitely selling skins, and so yeah, thank you for the input. You know what I actually am excited about? The fact that there's a whole bunch of new characters for Blizzard to draw into Heroes of the Storm. You know, like there's a whole new game out there for people that'll be really interesting characters for Heroes of the Storm, because right now there's a lot of fantasy.
I mean,
they already announced that they were going to put what's her face in.
Yeah, I mean, probably Blink, right? Because but a lot there's I don't know who, but Blink is she's the one on all the posters, so I assume it's Blink. But like a couple of those characters,
Blink.
whatever the fuck her
Dazzle or something.
I don't give a shit.
Dazzle.
A lot of those characters are kind of like a little too close to characters from stuff like the monk guy is just the monk from Diablo 3 but a robot, and so some of them are a little stolen from their own games, but yeah.
Well, I mean, there's only so many archetypes. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what these people are. I know my favorite character is the robot, and it's just because it's a robot. But then eventually somebody. What?
Which one?
The Bastion guy.
I don't know if you've played since this weekend at BlizzCon, but they put out 3 new characters.
Oh no.
One of them is my favorite. Her name is Diva. She is a tank class character who gets to walk around in a mech, and she's a gamer in a mech.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty badass.
This Diva character.
She's the tiny girl in the
Tracer,
mech.
by the way, is
Blink. Tracer. That's totally the poster child for that game. I was listening to a podcast, I can't remember, but they called Tracer the Mickey Mouse of Overwatch. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that kind of works for me.
Yeah.
And Tracer's going to be in Heroes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
And then probably Winston, because he's a gorilla.
Coolest.
He's a giant gorilla with glasses.
Speaking of giant gorillas with glasses, we got an email from Danny. He says, questions.
Geez, Danny.
Hello, just cool enough. How long are you with your Eric's opinion about Hyperdimensions Neptuna or Tunia Rebirth 1? And when will the next episode of Max Speed air?
Well, episodes of Max Speed air every Sunday after Warcraft Anonymous.
It's Saturday, Eric. Get it right.
Saturday. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Like, I didn't really. That game was not my kind of game. I recorded a bunch of footage, and I've written down like some stuff, but it's really hard for me to do that.
If you want to hear some classic episodes of Max Speed, you can go to shoutengine.com/maxspeed. I started uploading, and I got some help uploading the archive. So 2007 is up if you want to listen to the first episode of Max Speed, which started in 2006, and the first year of Max Speed, first full year of Max Speed was 2007. That's up there, shoutengine.com/maxspeed. So go check it out.
He also asks, does Ike only watch dub anime or sub anime, or also sub anime? If I had a choice, I would rather watch subbed anime rather than dubbed anime. I watch dubbed anime.
See, Joe's the one that's all about dubs because he doesn't like reading, and he hates it when a character speaks in its intended voice with its intended inflection.
No, you know what? Actually, if I have the choice, I will definitely pick a dub. But I like listening to an episode or two in subs just so I can kind of get where the character's coming from a little bit better. But I'm just like when I'm watching, I feel like relaxing, and I'm not a great,
But subbed anime, they're usually, in Japanese, of course, kind of like some of the males are a little more gruff, even if they're like 14. But like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna kick his ass. And then when you listen to the dubbed one that's on like Cartoon Network, it's like, I have so much fun going out there and kicking your ass. I'm like, but the voice shouldn't be that high. That's not the way the character was designed to be.
Are you telling me that we're having two different experiences?
Yeah, and it's always like the crazy old man is like, hey, I'm a crazy old man. And then in the American version, he's like, huh, I'm a crazy old man.
Okay, but see, and maybe I should just start watching it.
Like Naruto sounded like a 14-year-old boy who's on the verge of being a man in the subbed version, but when you listen to it dubbed on Cartoon Network, he's like a 12-year-old boy who hasn't quite hit puberty yet.
See, but does it change the story a lot for you?
It changes the feeling of the character. He goes from being this annoying little whiny brat to being somebody who's like trying to do something legitimate.
You guys keep bringing up relevant points, and it makes me rethink me being such a jerk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll think about it. I know Danny wasn't trying to. Danny's in the chat room too. I always call him Art in the chat room because I can't pronounce his whole name.
Yeah, I can. That's why I call him Danny.
Yeah. So Danny is in the chat room. You've convinced me. I will try doing a subbed anime, even though you weren't trying. We have another email that has a picture.
Yeah, we do. This is Dolphins Are Ready. This is sent to us from Daz3. Or Days. I will go with Days. I'll go with Elite Speak. Days. Days sends a, hey, JC team, I was walking around a shopping center the other day and I found this. And it's a picture of a dolphin that appears to be wearing plate armor. For those people who are listening to the audio, it's just down its back. It has a little bit of leather along the side, but it has kind of a plate armor to the backside of the dolphin.
Can you see it at all when I'm doing that? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah. So it says Sea Warrior Dolphin on it. Like, I don't know if did they catch this thousands of years ago? The world may never know.
I'm just saying that this is some bullshit because obviously that plate would be too heavy for it to be buoyant anymore, and it's completely undefended. Its underside, which is its weakest side,
this is its weak
side
point.
You would want. Yeah.
You strike the weak point for massive damage right here. Do you see where my mouse is? This is where you hit for massive damage.
I'm just saying, like, dolphins would not wear. They would stand out. They would show up on radar. They just this is
dolphin when they're walking on land, Eric.
Yeah, but then if they're walking, then their stomach's open. That's like wearing a bulletproof vest that only covers your butthole. Like
it's a blowhole. They're dolphins.
Yeah, but I mean, your bulletproof vest covers your chest, not just your back.
If you guys want to see this picture, go to justcoolenough.com. We'll put it in the show notes. But I think that I'm pretty sure the dolphins have quite an understanding on armor smithing. So just Eric, you're not an armor smith. Dolphins are.
I went to a Renaissance fair. I think I know what I'm talking about.
He's an expert. We're gonna have to get a dolphin on the show. I think we have one more email.
Yeah, but we probably shouldn't read it because Ike's not here.
Oh God, what happened to Ike?
I don't know. Didn't you notice the sound quality got better?
Just now. Yeah. Welcome to the new show without Ike, with better sound quality, just cool enough.
I'll talk about my Renaissance fair experience.
That's a good idea.
I went to I went to a Scottish Games fair once in high school, which was but it was very small scale. And this was the first time I went to a proper Renaissance fair. Apparently, there are a couple in the Los Angeles area. In fact, when I went Sunday, there was another one happening in a different area in Los Angeles. And my friends that went said that this one was a lot smaller scale. But it was an interesting experience, seeing all the tents and just shitloads of people in Renaissance garb and doing the these and thous and stuff, and hearing dudes sing pirate shanties, and it was fun. But I went in knowing that I just finished work and I didn't want to blow all the money I just earned, and I was gonna save it. But I was like, I'm not gonna not spend money. So I had $100 in my checking account, and that was my hard cap. I can't spend any more than this. But I wanted to try. There was nothing I wanted to buy. They didn't have normally these things you see at 6 or 7 booths where they sell swords and shit. No, there's one thing that sold daggers, but really high-end daggers that are $1,000 that fucking nobody can afford. So I was like, what? And then little wooden swords and shields for kids, and I was like, well then fuck that. They had plenty of places that sold costume pieces, but it's $60 for a shirt and then like $200 for like a really awesome vest, and I'm like,
Did you keep your work suit on, Eric? Were you walking around with your universal, like, scary zombie armor guy?
No, because when I check out my costume, I have to give them my driver's license, so that they get it back at the end of the night. But yeah, I was just like walking around, and I was like, yeah, nothing here I want to buy. Met up with some friends, and it was fun. All of them were in costume. But it was just like the most memorable experience of it though was the guy in the giant orange fox costume and a kilt walking around, just the furry walking around, which I thought was going to be the creepiest thing I saw there until I saw like one of this fat dad hitting on the bar wench, and I was like, that's actually the creepiest thing. Like that.
Maybe that's just his character. Maybe he's not really fat. He's just wearing a fat suit, and he's not even a dad.
A fat suit and a polo shirt, just hitting on.
He wasn't even dressed up. He was just hitting on the bar wench.
Yeah.
Hey, let me buy another overpriced mead, wench. Yeah. I don't even know how to hit on a bar wench properly. Like I think you just take what you want. It's a lost art. They need to bring that back at the Ren Fair. My problem with the Ren Fair when I went was there was too much steampunk stuff. I'm like, this isn't a steampunk fair. This is a Renaissance fair.
I wouldn't know, because when I went to go to the one in Michigan, nobody took me.
Yeah,
sorry.
There wasn't a lot of steampunk, but one of my friends came very steampunky because that's just what she wanted to wear. There was a shop.
What the fuck? What's the steampunk shit? I don't get it.
People like it. I don't know.
What is Ike doing? Why is he doing this?
I have a headache, so I'm trying to your voice is very grating to me, Joe.
Oh God.
No, it's right here on the sinuses. So I was just leaning back, trying to push some pressure on it while I listen to you guys bitch about Ren Fairs.
What do you think about Ren Fairs, Ike?
I don't know. I think you should come as whatever you want. I've seen fairies. I've seen people dress as Doctor Who. I've seen people go as Spock. I've seen people, dress in
but
various...
it's not Comic-Con, it's a Ren Fair.
Have you seen a giant furry orange fox in a kilt?
No.
Okay.
It's not a furry fair, it's a Ren Fair.
Maybe that's what this is. This is how where we went from the dolphin thing. The dolphin's going to Ren Fair, maybe?
Oh, that's it. That's exactly it.
I mean, that guy could have been a dolphin underneath all that stuff. I don't know.
You don't know who was behind that suit.
You can't tell. You can't tell.
It was a secret dolphin.
Secret dolphin.
Apparently, also got Zombie Run from episode 300 for the Steam key. This is from our favorite resident lookalike to Bob Ross. Brady Rainey writes, "Oh snap! Show email. Oh no, I'm bad at this. All caps. Dear JCE crew, how about Fallout 4? Am I right?
Am I right?
PPS pre-postscript. Shout out to Eric for nailing that subject line back on episode 300. Wubba lubba dub dub."
That was a good subject line.
So I mentioned a bunch last week that I wasn't going to get Fallout 4 because I had other concerns. I was going to wait for it to drop in price, and I wasn't sure. And of course, I lied to myself, and I fucking bought it yesterday. And
it wasn't even out for a full day. You crumbled. You crumbled in less than a day.
I made it about 15 hours, and then it spent. Then I had to download it, and then I had to go out with some friends that night, so I didn't get to play it till like 11. But yeah, I didn't last very long without buying it.
I can't believe you were like, there's so many game.
Yeah, I was like, I got all these games. It's probably glitchy. I've got stuff. I'm trying to write my novel. I don't feel I might not.
I'm so sick. I can't even do the show. I gotta just play Fallout. You and Ike both have Fallout 4 right now, and you guys are just faking sick. So
nope, I blew all my Fallout money on get myself a Steam link, so I have no Fallout. I just get to sit in our Discord chat and listen to everyone else play it.
Yeah. So I haven't gotten that far. I've only played about 2 hours of it so far because I played like the tutorial last night, and today I've only played a little bit, and I want to get back to writing. I did some writing this morning, played a little bit, doing the show now, and I'm going to go back to writing, so I probably won't get to play it till later tonight. But It's so far it's Fallout. I mean, it's exactly what I expected it to be. It plays just like the other games, a little bit more refined. It looks like Fallout, but slightly better. More polygons. I will say one of the things that I thought was interesting is I think they're trying to like entice people who wouldn't normally jump into this game because like the first hour of the game involves you getting into a giant like Brotherhood of Steel power armor, grabbing a minigun, and then jumping off a roof and like fighting a bunch of dudes, and then a death claw shows up, and I'm like, this is so the most un-Fallout thing I've ever seen, but it's awesome. Like it's meant to be like it
It's
you're
almost like satire, you think?
No, it's like look at how extreme this is. Like this is the kind of stuff you get like much later into the game. Like the first couple of hours, you're like fighting like giant flies and shit.
Right. That's
Fallout.
how traditionally that's how Fallout.
But this is like the first hour. You fight a couple of flies, a few rad roaches, and then it's like here's a minigun. Just to like okay now go build a base. And then it's like just like here's a taste. So they give you kind of like a first taste free.
What about your Fallout Shelter minigame on your iPad? How is that tied into your Fallout 4 experience, if at all?
Well, the Fallout Shelter has no tying in, but if you mean the Pip-Boy thing, I haven't turned it on yet. I should do that. I forgot about that. But yeah, they have the Pip-Boy app, which I'll try and link to my thing. I'll rubber band my cell phone to my arm and link it. I'll have to try that later.
The world is going Fallout crazy right now. Like it is.
But
Fallout
I have spent
madness.
The 2 hours I've played, about an hour and a half of that has just been scrapping, because that's the new mechanic, is that you can like build in certain areas, you can build stuff and settlements, and you basically just go around, like you're like, hey, here's an old car, scrap it. Here's a chair, scrap it. Here's a broken bed, scrap it. Here's a light pole, scrap it. Now I'm gonna build my own bed, like build a building and stuff. And I've just been running around like the starter village, just scrapping every last ounce of thing I can scrap, and for no apparent reason. And then planting like carrots and stuff. It's I don't know. It's one of the. It's got this whole like Farmville like Civ like thing to it that's fun. It's just like building up a thing.
See, I think that Fallout 4 is built on like a really old game engine.
It's not. It's updated. They took this. It's an updated version of what they ran with. No, it's what they. I mean, they took what they did with Skyrim and they rebuilt it. But it's fun because like when you start it up, if you played Skyrim, it'll have like that thing, like a picture of like an assassin, and then you turn the camera and look at it and zoom in.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. Because it was built on the same engine as Skyrim, I'm excited to see all the crazy mods that are going to happen. I think they really. This is going to be the version of Fallout. Like sometimes a new game will release, like New Age Empires 3 came out. Everybody's like, no, fuck that. We're staying with Age Empires 2, The Conquerors, because that's the best one. And they're still re-releasing versions of it now. And I think like this has so many like city building mechanics and just different ways to play. This is going to be the Fallout for years to come.
Speaking of expansions, or rather extra parts to games for years to come, we have one final email also from Danny from earlier. There's no subject. He writes, hello, JCE. Joe, Eric, and Ike.
Oh.
First, I want to know if any one of you plays StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void.
I mean, I don't have it. It's out, I think, right?
It came out at the end of BlizzCon.
I haven't played it.
I haven't played it. A friend of mine got me Heart of the Storm, and I could ask him for it, and I might do that. But if I get a copy, I'm not gonna. I probably wouldn't buy a copy. But if my friend that works there is like, "Hey, you want it?" I'll be like, "Yes," and take it.
I really like. I downloaded StarCraft, and I'm like, it's time for me to learn StarCraft 2 because I haven't really played it. And
it's fun. I mean, it's a great
I've had
game.
it for a long time, but I haven't got into it, and I want to get into it, but I don't know. The RTS thing hasn't been that interesting for me lately. Like that style. I've been playing games more like like Anno or Dawn of Discovery, and these kind of like more civilization building kind of games, not just resource gather and then kill kind of stuff. So
I mean, it does.
and I think it's because I'm getting older. I'm like, I don't feel like playing these fast-paced games with the young children.
I mean, it's a very traditional sense. I mean, now they're all kind of doing that, but when StarCraft 2 came out years ago, there was this really big shift, like with Command and Conquer and some of the other bigger ones, away from like base building and management and more just like forces and same with like Warhammer. 40K 2 and all this stuff, like going away from like the base building thing and going like more of an action-y type stuff. And then StarCraft was like, no, fucking, you have a base, you build your thing, and you got your shit and your pylons and all that stuff. And they won out because certainly everyone does that shit now. I mean, I haven't seen a good a big name RPG since StarCraft though. RTS.
Real-time strategy for you people.
I haven't seen anybody do anything of like the scale of a StarCraft 2 since StarCraft 2.
I mean, when I think RTS, I think the re-release of Age of Empires 2, which is like the African empires, which just came out recently. Actually, it's the HD remake of Age of Empires 2, and it's made by the Microsoft or whoever, I don't know. It's sanctioned. And then also, I think StarCraft, and as far as RTSs go, what else is there, And
Planetary Annihilation.
Oh, maybe.
I haven't had really. I got that game because somebody gave it to me, but I bought StarCraft 2 and the expansion to it because I wanted the other stuff for the other games. And I got I got Legacy of the Void because I wanted the stuff for the other games. But at the same time, I've started playing it, and it's not too bad. I have a lot of friends who have been playing since day one, like a long time ago, since StarCraft, and so they're really good at this. And they're like, oh, yeah, we should play together. And then they just crush me. Because I have no idea what's going on.
RTS
we'll play together. And I'm like, okay, so let's play with each other. And then they'll win it because they'll carry me. And I still have no idea what's going on. So Ryle's been helping walk me through how to learn to play this so I can actually be an RTS player.
Yeah, RTS is like it's punishing. You build up your base for a few minutes and you're invested and you think you have things figured out, and then some spaceship comes in and blows things up basically.
I mean, I remember when I was thinking about getting more into like multiplayer StarCraft, it's like you have to be real quick when you're playing online because it's like you spend, if you don't get units out quick,
7 minutes. I mean, like you better be built by 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, like the first 2 minutes of the game, the asshat sends out 3 Zerglings, and you've got nothing to defend your base, and it fucking blows up half your base before you can get a Marine out to stop them.
The only thing
that's called Zerg Rush, Eric. Haven't you heard of that?
Yeah.
The only thing faster and more confusing than StarCraft is watching somebody cast a StarCraft game, because knowing nothing about it, now these people are doing things really fast. The announcers know what's going on, so they're casting it faster.
Right, and they're using all the hot keys and everything.
Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Dudes attacking other dudes with a big army. One dude loses. I get that. How the guy had the big army, I have no idea.
Well, they're using. I mean, like you just see like the screen for like a half a second maybe, and all their SCVs are like mining the thing, and then boop 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 boop, and then like there's things and other stuff.
They have killer micro. They don't need to learn. They know the micro.
Yeah, dude. Like it's just they're just everything's hotkeys. You don't fuck around. You don't fuck around with clicking through the little menu thing. Like, where should I put my little hut for my villagers? Like that doesn't happen. That's actually what's turned me off of playing RTS. Is it's like you watch that happen, it's like I'm just not even gonna try. I know I'm gonna be so bad at it, and there's such a learning curve. And if I'm gonna get involved in a game like that, I want to be really like effective. And it's just not gonna happen unless somebody is just sitting in your Discord chat and then they hear how much you're struggling with your 2 other friends, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm basically pro in that game. Let me teach you for an hour and a half how to play." And then you're like, "Oh wow, this game is a whole lot easier now that I'm winning 8 in a row."
Yeah. The email continues.
Yeah, the email continues. We already answered this one, but now that we are talking about Blizzard games, he says, does anyone have any BlizzCon 2015 announcements so far? We talked about that a little bit already.
Sure.
I guess all 3 of you are going to be returning for Legions, since it sounds like Blizzard finally has an expansion that's better than Burning Crusades.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know anything about Legion besides everyone's Illidan now.
Yeah, I've kind of plugged my ears to the Legion talk. There's so much hype around it right now. I just kind of want to.
Is there? I haven't heard anything. Like I saw the announcement trailer, and they didn't really talk about it much during the during the opening announcement. All I know is that anybody who wants to be Illidan can be. They can just roll an Illidan, all kinds of Illidan, cow Illidan, undead Illidan, gnome Illidan, and then everybody gets a special sword.
See, I'm just not prepared for Legion to come out. It's just not something I'm ready for yet. So
he says, lastly, I guess that Eric has already played Fallout 4 and have an opinion about that, but what about Joe and Ike? Did they play it yet, or doesn't Fallout 4 not fall in your taste?
Ooh, I'm excited for Fallout 4. I'm gonna wait until it goes on sale because I'm having too much fun playing other games right now, and there's just I can wait on Fallout 4. It's not gonna somebody's not gonna be like, oh, this is the storyline. Spoiler. It's like I know what's gonna happen. I have a general idea of how it's gonna go down, and the whole draw of Fallout 4 is the expansive universe and how you play it. So I'm not I'm not gonna be covering my ears when people are talking about it. Like in Grand Theft Auto or something, where I'm like, oh, don't tell me the story, because there's just so many ways to go about saving the town or blowing it up or whatever.
I haven't played any of the Fallout
wasteland.
franchise since.
Oh, really?
No, I haven't played it since it was on Sega or PlayStation, wherever it was way back when. We're talking
System Shock.
PC.
So
it was only ever PC until Fallout 3.
Yeah, so
Pretty sure.
No,
actually, no. There was like a PS.
No, System Shock
one.
came out for Apple computers.
System Shock has nothing to do with Fallout.
Okay, sorry, that's BioShock.
Yeah.
No, Fallout.
No, hold on.
Fallout was really old school.
I know it was an old school PC game. I know that there was like a sort of top down one that was
in 1997. Fallout takes place in a post-apocalyptic Southern California 2161. So that's when it started in 97.
Yeah,
that's what did it say? What it was on? It was on a console.
No, Fallout 1 and 2 were PC games. Oh, I guess eventually they were released on PS2 and stuff. But yeah, no,
but
it was
Fallout
never.
3 was the first big one it was Fallout 2 in 98, and then Fallout 3 happened in 2008, and that was the big one because it came out
Fallout
on all
3
that stuff.
was the first, I think, real big console one. The Fallout 1 was, I think, only ever PC. Same with Fallout 2. There might have been a port to a PlayStation at some point. There was I think, I forget which one, but there was a Fallout game in the early 2000s or something that was on the PS2. That was Fallout Brotherhood of Steel was on the PS2 and Xbox. It was sort of more of an action game, but yeah, Fallout 1 and 2 and Tactics I think were primarily only PC. Fallout 3 was the first one that came out to. Unless I'm completely wrong, but I don't think I am.
So you played it a long time ago, Ike? Was it a 3D world?
No, it was from what I remember, it was not
kind
really
of
3D.
top-down 2D kind of deal. Yeah, that was probably Fallout or Fallout 2.
So,
yeah.
I've been looking into possible Fallout. I mean, I really liked BioShock, and so I'm wondering if Fallout, for me, at least this one around, is going to have that same kind of feel if I decide to jump on it.
Maybe you played System Shock.
Again, that has nothing to do.
It said BioShock, so I need to tie it back.
What I like about what Fallout 3 did was it made it added this sort of shooter element, and then Fallout New Vegas made the shooting even better. And then with Fallout 4, they actually, because they bought the people, id Software, so they actually had the people who worked on Rage, which was basically id trying to merge Doom and Fallout and failing horribly, basically helped design the gunplay. So the gunplay is a lot better in this, but it's you can shoot and play it like a traditional shooter, but it's also got you press, in this one it's Q instead of V or instead of Z for some reason or whatever, but it goes into VATS, which is kind of not turn-based, but you kind of stop time and pick and.
And this is how I played Fallout New Vegas. I just spec'd all into my ability to use the VAT system because I just like playing it like that. I like playing it kind of like an RPG where it's like, oh, I ran into an enemy. I want to hit it in the face and the nuts. And it's like, bam, pew, 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 pew. Oh, that was awesome. Everything got blown to smithereens. So that's how I liked to play the game.
But basically, if you go in expecting it to be Skyrim with guns, you'll pretty much know what to get from it.
Right. My Fallout New Vegas playthrough is I had a guy with no shirt on, no pants, a ton of VATs, and then the rest into just luck, and all he did was throw spears. So that was his. He had a '80s like motorcycle helmet or like a space helmet, and he ran around and he threw javelin spears long distances because the VAT skill or like I min-maxed the skills at the start just so he could throw his spear like 2 football fields. It was amazing, and I got like halfway through the game before I was like, okay, I had my fun with this. But that was a cool way to play the game. I think I had to mod it so I had enough spears, though, because I had the special edition, so I started out with like 20 spears.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to play through the whole game that way. And then I lost all my spears. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm screwed.
That was always annoying when I got the New Vegas like Game of the Year edition on my PC, and every time I'd start a new character, it'd be like, hey, like they'd spend like 2 full minutes telling me all the stuff my character starts with, and it's just like popping. There's 10 spears, blah blah blah, blah, just poking in the corner, telling me all this shit that I just start with.
Ooh, I'm so special. I am the game of the year. I'm perfect, the Fallout champion.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to leave enough time in the show to bring this up. Last Wednesday, I got engaged.
Where did you engage?
Where did I engage?
No, what
space.
did you do? I don't get it.
What?
I mean,
are
like
you?
You're married?
He bought an N-Gage.
Oh yeah,
N-Gage
N-Gage. I haven't seen those.
That's how you get all your energy back.
Is that E-N-G-A? How did you spell engage?
It's N and then
it's
Gage.
the letter N. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think it was like N-Gage or something.
Max Maps had an N-Gage. So how did your girlfriend like her N-Gage?
She liked it. She wouldn't stop talking about it though.
You've really nonchalantly buried the lead and told us you just got engaged to be wed to your
he got an N-Gage.
No, he got an N-Gage. I don't know what you're. That's why I was there Wednesday. I had to go pick up the N-Gage.
So you did not get down on one knee and propose to Amanda in a beautiful sunlight on the
no, he bought a Nokia N-Gage.
N-Gage. Yeah.
N-Gage. Okay, I don't want to miss.
Shut up. Can I ask?
Sorry.
Is it the first gen or the second gen? Because the first gen was annoying because you had to hold it like a taco to speak into it. With the second gen, you could hold it more thing. And the first gen, you had to pull the battery out to replace the games. So which generation was it?
It's the second one. I mean, we might as well go out and get the spiffy one.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. What games did you get for it? I thought a Tomb Raider came out for it, but I might be wrong.
All of them.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Did you get Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Rain Man 3, Path of Glory?
I thought there's a Need for Speed for it that's pretty good. Max Maps was talking about it. He used to have one. You know what, Ike? I got an idea. You should do an N-Gage show with Max Maps, because like a reboot or of some sort, like of old consoles. Or handhelds.
Yeah, but Max Rail doesn't sound. That sounds like a skating show.
Rail Max, and then you guys could be a Tony Hawk show. An N-Gage show devoted to the Tony Hawk N-Gage game.
I know it doesn't have your name in it, but the title of your new podcast is N-Gage to the Max.
So now that you're N-Gage to the max, Ike, what are you gonna do?
Oh
now?
no, here N-Gage dodge to the max.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. N-Gage dodge.
This week we're talking about Puzzle Bobble Versus and how it holds up. Turns out not very well, just like every other N-Gage thing. This week we're talking about Call of Duty for the N-Gage.
Do you know the N-Gage had Star Wars The Force Unleashed in 2008?
Yes, I'm looking at the same Wikipedia article that you did.
I can't. They published games for the N-Gage till 2008?
Yep. They tried.
Let it die, man.
They had held on to that system for a while. Yeah.
Let it die. There's tons of PS1 ports too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is kind of. I want to. Maybe you didn't know this. I heard this. This is big news. They're saying as of 2016, Sony is going to stop making Betamax tapes.
I heard about that.
So I'm just saying, N-Gage, they could keep going, even though it lost out to other better things.
Well, I mean,
Like
Betamax.
the Xperia Play.
It'll become a hipster. Hipsters will want them, play your games on them.
Are you making a rhyme now?
Yep.
Betamax came out in like the late 1970s, so the N-Gage is gonna. I mean, we're good for a long time here.
Yeah, wow.
So I think you're good, Ike. I think that this new podcast venture that you're doing are you gonna have any help like with productions or anything like that?
I was hoping that you would, but then I realized that would just kill it after 2 shows.
Yeah, if Joe's involved, the show won't make it.
Fail early and often. It's a thing I live by. I don't know if it's working out so well.
Well, you're married, so unless you were trying not to get married, you failed at it.
No, my strategy with women was like this. As such for significant others, I would date them for like 2 weeks or less, and then I was like, nope, not gonna work. You're not wife material. And then that was it. And I did that until I met the woman of my dreams, and now I'm married to her, and she's watching Netflix right now.
And chilling. She watching that.
The chill part didn't happen yet. That's later.
She podcast and chill.
Yeah, right now we're podcasting, chilling. I like that. That's
well,
like,
when you can't afford Netflix, you go Redbox and chill.
Redbox and chill. That's the ghetto version. Like, I can't get on my dad's Netflix, so I got Redbox and chill. I like podcast and chill. It's like somebody made that joke before when we weren't on air. Like, anyway, we got to wrap this thing up. So enough talking about N-Gages and stuff. Eric, do the thing.
All right, let's stop talking about those horse shit, like how the N-Gage is never gonna make it, and start plugging each other.
Oh yeah.
I don't really have anything to plug. I wish I could unplug this severe blockage of mucus in my nostril. But until then, you can always just follow me on Twitter. I'm at Duncor, DUNCOR.
My plugs for this week involve and include Shout Engine for hosting our podcast. If you want to start a show, you can in under 5 minutes with shoutengine.com. Big changes to come into Shout Engine. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome for us, you, everyone. Big shout out to Alpha Geek Radio, and holy shit, Todd over at Alpha Geek Radio, he set up so many live shows for BlizzCon, brought my Heroes of the Storm podcast to me live, so thanks for that, and I'm super excited. Alpha Geek Radio is awesome. Go check out some of the live shows they have. And make sure to review our show on iTunes. We haven't gotten any iTunes reviews in the U.S., so if you're in the U.S., you can review us. If you're outside of the country, we don't know if you review us, so send us a screenshot of what it is, and we'll read them out. And as always, you can join our live chat room. We record live each week at 6:30 Eastern at justcoolenough.com/live. My real plug for this week is a show on YouTube called Auto Moments, and it is a Pennsylvania guy that does a really good videography with just like one camera and tells stories of cars. And he did one of the Lincoln Town Car, and I kind of got a weird craving to buy a 2003 or 4 Lincoln Town Car. So those are all my things. Ike, what do you got to plug?
I'm going to plug, I can't even pronounce the person's name, Takia, whatever, something I've highlighted down here for people watching the podcast on YouTube. He is the jeweler that made the ring, which is actually the ring in the picture that I used.
Are you thinking about getting engaged, Ike?
I already got the engagement. We had that conversation.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why it did never take off. That you had to, in order to play your Nokia N-Gage, you have to buy it at a $3,000 engagement ring. That's where the name came from.
Engagement ring.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the red ring of death, but for N-Gages. It's like.
Well, some might say it is the ring of death for some people.
Oh God! Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a classy weekend.
Yeah. See y'all next week, and troll you later.
N-Gage.
Why you always end up doing that? That's one N-Gage to rule them all. What? You said you were gonna do a Star Wars thing last time, Eric.
I forgot. I'm sick.
You were gonna do a Salacious Crumb.
I'm sick. I tried to go bowling last night, and with my friends, and all the lanes were taken, so we just hung around the bar screaming at each other because the music was all loud, and that made my lack of a voice even worse.
Did you go Cosmic Club Bowling or something? What the hell is that?
No, I just went to a regular bowling place, but they had like loud dance music and shit, and evacuate the dance floor and bullshit. And I drove all the way to Santa Monica for nothing. Thanks a lot, Daisy.
Jesus, Daisy, get your life together.
Yeah, get your shit together.
You're never gonna get an N-Gage like that.
Yeah.
See you
Chad's
guys.
never gonna give you an N-Gage if you act like that.
Club bowling. All right. Show over. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, live listeners, too. You live chat room people, we love you. You guys are awesome. Thanks for keeping the show alive. And so shout out to you guys. Brady, Freck.
Shut up.
How do you say this Gnamey guy?
It's pronounced stop streaming.
Jabba, Joe, who's not cool either, and Omega Bob. Omega Bob, we haven't seen that name in forever. So that means the Facebook promotion we're doing is working. Goodbye!